Hello and welcome to Dreams of Wings, and welcome to, as we like to say in the UK, nice weather for ducks. It is peeing it down here in Norway, which is great because we're doing IFR, so we don't care. We laugh in the face of a little bit of rain and wind. Anyway, great to see you here. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining the stream. I will quickly show you what we're going to be doing. We're going to be flying from Flesland down here, near Bergen, or in Bergen, across this lovely bit of terrain here, so it should be really interesting. We should see some just before, the weather over this way, the weather to the east was actually clearing up, so I'm kind of hoping that we might actually get to see some ground. And then over here we have Sweden, and we're going to be flying into Bromma. I have no idea if that is how you pronounce it. If you are Swedish and you can correct me on that, then that would be rather marvellous. And it's a nice flight, this actually. It's not particularly long, but it does see we do have a SID, and we do have a star and all that kind of stuff, so that's quite good. And this is a very good point to say, and I'm directing this at the backseat flying instructors out there. There seems to be a misconception with some people that you do YouTube stuff because you think you're some kind of an expert and you want to show the world how it's done and all that kind of stuff. I can absolutely assure you, if you watch the channel, you know this already. If you've not watched the channel, you are about to find out. I am not an expert, certainly not doing this kind of stuff. This is the kind of flying that I never really was interested in doing. IFR, procedures, ATC, all that kind of stuff. But it's something that I got into probably, I guess, a couple of years ago, which seems like a long time ago and a long time to have practiced, but actually it's something I do quite rarely. And I kind of do it in fits and starts, like I'll have a burst and then I won't do it for a few months, then I'll come back to it. And I'm just going through the process now. It's actually stopped raining, isn't that amazing? Actually going through the process now of getting back into it and trying to just brush up my skills. And this Aerostar is a perfect vehicle for doing that because it's got loads of character. It's a lovely old piston twin. It's got the steam gauges, which I love. Cannot stand glass cockpits. And also we've got the GT and XI in there, so we've got that mixture of old and new. But it's a lovely aircraft to do that. Now let's talk about this right now. We have got a giveaway, and the way this is going to work is very simple. To make it fair to people who can't watch live, at the end of the stream, I'm going to ask a question, and then all you need to do is email me the answer, and I'll go through this right at the end. Email me the answer, and we're going to accept answers up until, let's say, 2100 hours Zulu tomorrow. So that's what? Sunday the 12th of October, just to establish that. Sunday the 12th of October at 2100 hours Zulu is the closing point for emailing me the answers to the questions. What is then going to happen is that I'm going to, by the power of Excel, I'm going to put all the names in, do a randomizer, and then pick out 3 winners, and then A2A are going to contact you with your shiny new Aerostar. If you haven't got one, you're in for a treat. It's a beautiful aeroplane, great fun to fly, really detailed, bites you on the arse if you get it wrong. So it's just an absolute joy to fly. So that's how it's going to work. In terms of anything else, this is an unmonetized channel, so I don't do this for money. I do it for fun. I do it because I love flight simming. I love sharing it. I love talking to people in the chat and talking to the community. Once I've done that, your emails, your email addresses get deleted. I'm not a direct mailing house. You're not suddenly going to get bombarded with, hey, have you considered watching Dreams of Wings at 2 o'clock in the morning? You're not going to get any of that rubbish. Nearly said something else then. It's very simple. It's just the simplest way of running a competition, and I envy you winners who perhaps haven't experienced Accu-Sim before. I envy you for experiencing it for the first time. A2A, I don't. This is a flight. I don't want to turn it into a big sales pitch for A2A because it's not. But what I will say is that A2A make aircraft for the American military, for government organisations, for commercial organisations. They made the programming, the software for the Spitfire simulator at Spitfires.com, and they use that to train people to fly the Spitfire in real life, and also to test procedures. So these guys make simulators for some pretty serious people, and every now and again we get to experience that expertise with something like this. One of the things that has been said is, well, you know, A2A haven't produced a lot for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Well, I think you know they're quite busy with their kind of commercial serious projects, and also, and this is really important, you've heard that old thing about quality not quantity, and they put so much into these things. It's not just a churned out production line where it's one after the other. They get every minute detail right, and also these are aircraft that they know. The Comanche, Scott, the owner of A2A, he owns a Comanche. The Aerostar, he owns the Aerostar. It had a little accident, but excuse me, can you? I'm talking here. Thank you. Rude. So these are aircraft that they know and love, and that it's in their interest not to get wrong. Anyway, there you go. Quick check of the chat. Ben, Tawny, Sparky, how are you doing? Adja, if the Aerostar is as good as their Piper Comanche, then it's a must-buy. Absolutely. And I forgot to say at the beginning, this is now available for 2020. A lot of people, when the Aerostar launched, were saying, well, what about 2020? I don't want to switch to 2024. I want to stay in 2020. I can't believe we're missing out on it. Not anymore. They've done a 2020 version, and that's now being released. Guy, how are you doing? Guy, thank you very much for my picture. Guy works for an organisation called Historic Helicopters, and that there is a Sea King that used to fly with 202 Squadron. And I fly that repaint in the H145 when I'm on the other streams doing search and rescue and HEMS and that sort of thing. That's a whole other story. Sparky, it's not multiplayer, mate. I'm using BeyondATC, so to do that I have to turn off. All the multiplayer stuff. So so this is just me and the virtual skies. Yeah, not a huge amount I can do about that, really. Toby, how you doing, mate? Toby used to be my boss when I used to fly for a VA. In fact, the reason I got into doing this kind of flying was because I was flying for the VA. And Toby and the other guys there know what they're doing. I was just like, oh, what does this button do? But it's good fun. Jep, good to see you, mate. It's been a while. I hope everything's all right with you. And Heli Flyer. I don't know what you said, mate. It was probably very innocent, but the bot has, for some reason, done something. But don't worry about that. It's rude. Anyway, okay, so there we go. So stick around to the end. I'll ask you a question. And even if you're watching this on repeat, don't worry. So long as you are watching this and you answer the question before 2100 hours Zulu tomorrow, that's Sunday the 12th of October, you can still enter into it. Right, okay, so I need to start concentrating a little bit now. Thank God for that, I hear you say. So, let's just... Here we go. Yeah, that's all working. So, first things first, I'm going to pop in. And I've switched the A... There we go. There we go. Right, got the old head tracking working now. Okay, so I'm just checking the parking brake is on, so that's all good there. What I am going to do is we're going to do the walk around, but just very quickly I'm going to check the lights. And doof. Anything else I want to do while I'm out there? Don't think so. That's all good. So let's pop outside and we'll have a quick walk around. There we go. Ah, I forgot to put the nav light on, didn't I? There you go. Oh, I definitely got the wrong glasses on today. This should be interesting. There we go. Blindingly red straight in the noggin. We've got a flashing strobe down here. There we go. I love the animations on the beacon. It's kind of rocking backwards and forwards. You also notice the dirt on the tyres. You'll actually notice as we move around that the aircraft is a little bit dirty. Beacon up there. Let's just have that off while we're at it. Because we flew over here from... there we go, tail nav light working. We flew over here from Sunborough, and I did a quick test flight earlier on because I wanted to just have a look at something. That's all good. And we've got a little bit of dirt on the aircraft. They're working fine. And let's go and blind ourselves by looking down the full glare. Whoa, there we go. That's all good. Okay, let's pop back inside and let's have everything off. Thank you. Ooh. Let's just drop some flaps a bit. Christopher, you are welcome, mate. You are welcome. Well, hopefully, it's hopefully I can do it justice if you've not seen the channel before. But yeah, it's a wonderful, wonderful aeroplane. It really is. When I did the night flight, I don't know how many in the chat caught the night flight the other night, but it's so atmospheric. The night lighting, the feel of the aircraft. The difference with Accu-Sim is that the aircraft very much feels alive. And flying at night over the North Sea from Shetland the other night, the weather wasn't brilliant, but it wasn't that bad. And looking up at the stars through the through the window in the roof, honestly, it's crazy immersive. Right, I need to concentrate. So let's have a quick look here. Yeah, that's so good. No squirrels hiding in the engine. Let's check the oil. And again, with it being Accu-Sim, the colour of the oil is simulated, so the contaminants and how old it is, that's getting a little bit mucky, but not too bad. We can live with that. That's all in there as well. Oh, I tell you what we do need to do. Hang on a minute. Turn that battery off, you numpty. Let's have a bit of fuel. Get out of it. Let's just... There we go. Just going to top up. And there we go. And let's come back there. So we did that. Now we need to check the... Where's the mouse pointer? There we go. Check the old port fuel. Yep. Nice. All good. Let's have a wang with this. Marvellous. Yeah, that's all good. We'll check the fuse tank. There we go. We can just see it there. Just check that we haven't got any squirrels hiding in here. No squirrels. Good. Nothing worse than taking flight to find that you've got squirrels in your baggage compartment. It can ruin your day. That's all good. Right, quick round here. Notice the tyres are dirty as well. This is what I'm talking about when I say it feels alive. No, I haven't been off-roading in it. It's just simulating dirty wheels. Right, that's all good. Quick look round here. Yep. Marvellous. Excuse me. I think I just saw a ghost. It's the famous ghost of Flesland, the ground crew who got chopped by an Aerostar propeller and forever haunts any Aerostar that visits. That's all good. Happy with you. Now I just need to insert myself. There. Just coming back again. That's alright. You wouldn't want to add it to your cocktail, but... Okay, so we've got a mucky nose. You can wash the aeroplane, by the way. There is a feature to wash it. It will pick up dirt, obviously, as you go on, and you can wash it if you want, but we're not going to do that. Right, so I've done all that, and then I just want to quickly come around here, and we're just going to drain down here so we can just check for water. Lovely jubbly. Come over here. Slidey, slidey. There we go. Anyone who was in need of visiting the bathroom certainly will be now. There we go. Okay, right. Well, I think we've gone through everything. I'm just checking myself because it's always the same. When I'm streaming, I'm thinking about the streaming. I'm thinking about you, dear watcher, and then I forget silly things. So we've done all that. We checked our oil. Happy with those. Removed the chocks. Ghost is going through the wing again. We've removed the pitot cover, and we don't have any tied down, so that's all good. So now we can get back in and get all nice and cozy in the cockpit. Okay, let's close the door. Yep, there we go. Right, there you go. That's your seat, or you can have any seat you want. Look at that. We've got an empty flight. Wow, there's a lot of chat going on, and I don't want to ignore it. So let's get in the air, and then once we're in the air, then I've got plenty of time to catch up and go through it. But I think the most important thing is that we get going. So just checking my physical controls. All good. Yeah, that's fine. Parking brakes on. Get rid of the yoke so we can have a look there. Okay, let's bring up the checklist. I don't know why I said it in my very poor Sean Connery impression. Pre-flight we've done. Passengers, that's you. Sit there, don't spill anything, and enjoy the flight. Seat belts, yeah, we got those on. Cabin door is closed and locked. Battery ignition is off, off, off. Gear switch is down. Always a bit embarrassing if you start up and your gear switch is up. Gear is down. Yes. Flappage is... I'm now going to put the switch in the up position for when we get the battery on. Brakes, test for firm. They feel... Yeah, no sniggering at the back. Flight controls free. Well, we kind of done that, but let's do that for the sake of... Have a wee look out the window. You can't see a huge amount really from here, but they feel right and they're moving right. Parking brake is set. Switches are all off. Yes, 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 yes. What do we get to? Switches are off. Battery we can now have. Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Battery we can now have on. Gear lock lights are green. Elevator and rudder trim is neutral. I'm just going to watch that in case that moves at all. Yep, that's still in the right place. Honestly, well worth checking that. There's nothing more embarrassing than if you take off with some elevator trim in from when you... This is persistent state. So where you left the aircraft before is where you find it. And if you take off with a load of nose-up elevator, you're kind of trundling along the runway, waiting to do that lovely lift, and all of a sudden it goes pwang into the air, and it's a little bit embarrassing. I've never done it, of course. Right, what did we get to? Did that hydraulic shut-off is open, and fuel is good, and we've checked the tanks outside, so that's all good. Low fuel warning is off. Circuit breakers are all in. These are all simulated, and Accu-Sim will get you if you don't be careful. So you do need to make sure that all these are in. And altimeter and clock is set. So we're going to get our altimeter when we dial into the ATIS. So not doing that just at the moment, but what I will do is just have a quick... They're all working. And I've not tried this one before. Let's see what this one does. Can't seem to... Yeah, nothing at the moment. There's probably something when we get going. Okay, so we've done that. Engine starts. Right, propeller fully forward. Let's get that in the right position. Mixture is idle cut off, and then we'll crack the throttle. It helps to really have it cracked. Battery is on. Low fuel warning is out. Fuel selector, cycle and listen. So I am going to shut up a little bit so you can hear. By the way, if at any point I've jiggled the sound mix a little bit, if at any point the I nearly said helicopter because I was flying the helicopter last night on the stream. If the aircraft is too loud and you can't hear what I'm saying and you actually want to hear what I'm saying, please do let me know in the chat. Don't wait till the end and then say, oh, we couldn't hear you. Because I've tried to, I noticed on the last Aerostar stream, the aircraft wasn't quite as loud as I would like. And I always seem to find when I'm switching between streams, no matter how much I've set it up, sometimes the mix isn't quite there. Anyway, so we've done that. Where did we get to? Because I started waffling about volume levels. We've got the... Right, this is what we want to do. So I want you to... we're going to listen to some sounds. There we go. So our fuel selectors are working. We could hear the actuators there, so we know it's doing something. I love the detail and immersion on this. It's little things like that you take for granted, but when you're actually doing it, the whole thing just feels alive. It's great. Okay, so we did that. We're going to start the right engine. So the procedure for starting the engine is we put the fuel boost on. We then check the gauge. We then go mixture to fully rich, count to about 3, close the mixture back to cut off, and then we go for the starter, and then it's mixture fully rich once we fire up. 1000 RPM on the RPM box here. I don't know why I called it a box. It's not a box at all. We're not flying a glass cockpit, thank God. So it's a gauge. It's a steam gauge, good old-fashioned steam gauge. So yeah, that down to 1000, and then we'll have the fuel boost off, and then we'll do the same with the other one. Okay. And the lovely thing is, and I do mean this, they don't always start the first time because it's alive. Listen, Ghost, go away. Okay, let's go. So, fuel boost on. Let's have the beacon and the navs on just to show that we're going to start whapping things around. Okay, let's start again. Fuel boost on. We see the gauge. 1, 2, 3, back. There we go. She's not going to go. So, let's have a little look what's going on. So again, one of the great things about the Accu-Sim thing is it's really good if you're learning, because you can actually see what's going on. We can see what's going on in the engine. And if we look at the engine here, that red line means that it's flooded. So when we were priming it, when I opened the mixture, even though I went 1, 2, 3 and closed it, actually it put too much fuel in there. So the cylinders are flooded having done that. So now we need to clear them. So I'm going to leave the mixture down here, and then we're going to crank it again. There we go. Just listening to the engine. Again, what is quite beautiful about this is that if you listen to the engine will kind of tell you what's going on as well. So you're not just looking at instruments, you're hearing. So down to 1000 RPM, and then we can have fuel boost off, and that's all good. And I will lean the engine as well while we're on the ground. Just listening to that. Okay, so we'll do the same with the left-hand engine. So looking over here, but we go fuel boost on, and 1, 2, 3, back. There we go. That's good. Happy with that. And fuel boost off. There we go. And a quick check over here, and everything is good. So now we've got 2 engines. Lovely warm fuzzy feeling, and they're all started. And you can see here, we can see our spark plugs. Those dots are symbolising the spark plugs going off. And if those dots get smaller, it's because you fouled the spark plug. So it's just giving you so much detail. This is a great way of learning how the engines and everything are behaving. Obviously, you wouldn't have this display in the real thing, but it's a really good way of understanding what's happening with your aircraft. And you can see we've got engine 1, we've got engine 2. We've also got the electrical system. So if I now put the alternators on, which I should have done after we started, you can see that they're working now as well. If I switch them off again, there you go, you see that stopped. Put that back on, and that's all good. And then interestingly, you can't reach up and touch the pitot head because it's so high, but if you just see it there, if you watch the voltage there, if I turn the pitot heat on, see the voltage just drops a little bit. That's because there's electricity at work. Amazing. Okay, something we should have I should have done before we started, but because I did it earlier on, I didn't do it. But just so that you can see, you can inspect. So this is kind of prior to us doing the walk around, talking to the engineer in the hangar, saying, "Here, mate, that Aerostar, what I brought in yesterday, is it all right? You haven't got any seagulls in it or anything like that?" Because as we know, Norwegian seagulls love a bit of Aerostar. And it's same with the engines, so we can inspect the engines. This is the kind of engineer's report, if you like, and if there's anything going on inside the engines that we can't see when we're doing the walk around, this is where we would pick them up. Right, so engine start. How is the sound, by the way? How is the sound? I don't think anyone is complaining about the sound, so that's good. Okay, I promise you I will catch up with the chat once we've got in the air. Once we've got in the air, we've got all the time in the world, but right now we just need to get going. Okay, so warm up and run up. So we're warming up at 1000 RPM, which is great. Engine temperatures are all looking fantastic. The prop is fully forward, the mixture is rich. Well, we're not doing the run up. What I'm going to do is, because we're at an airport and it's going to possibly be quite busy, I'm going to have to, I'm just looking over at the map. I'm going to do a run up. We'll taxi out when we taxi out, and I'll do a run up just there, and then we can taxi out. Okay, so bear with me because I need to do a bit of housekeeping now. I just need to move a few things around on my other screens, and we need to fire up BeyondATC. The reason why I have BeyondATC switched off right now is because it doesn't work in conjunction with the battery in the aircraft. So if you're sitting on the ground with the engine shut down, you'll still hear the ground frequency, which is a bit off-putting. Okay, so let's have some other things on while we're doing that. Just having a quick look around. We've got the TDS GTN XI 750 and 650, which we're going to be using. Let's load up our flight plan.
TOS system test OK.
There you are. Just make sure. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let me lock off the head tracking. There we go. So we've got a couple of procedures as well. So we've got the interesting to see how ATC pronounce this. We've got the Gokka to Charlie. Gokka to Charlie. Transition point is Gokka Bravo or GoCab. There we go, and it's runway 17. It was interesting. When I did this, I did the sim brief plan. Probably about 45 minutes before the flight was due to start, and when I actually loaded in, everything had changed because they changed the runway direction. because it's just kind of on the cusp. Transition arse, there you go. That's going to be probably a good description of my flying. Right, that's a good. Happy with that. Blooming marvellous. Okay, right, so that's all loaded in. That's all good to go. I'm going to just... we'll leave that there. I'm going to quickly pop to here. We're going to update the digital engine monitor there with our fuel. And then we can... Oh, we need to get you in there. Forgot your weight. There you go. Not that I'm saying anything, but... right, blah, 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 blah. I've done that. Right, let's talk to ATC. Let's talk to ATC. Okay. So, what are we looking at? ATIS. Oh, we've got to get ATIS, haven't we? 125.255. Let's listen to that. 125.
Transition level 070. Advise on initial contact you have information Zulu. Flesland Airport information Zulu. 1432 Zulu. Missed. Wind 240 at 4. Visibility 10 miles or more. Few clouds at 500. Scattered at 1000. 1500 broken. Temperature 12. Dew point 11. QNH 1026. Rain. Ceiling 800 broken. Landing and departing runway 17. Transition level 070. Advise on initial contact you have information Zulu.
Okay, that's good. I just saw someone has said, can I turn the volume up a bit? I will. Hopefully that's a bit better. There we go. Okay. So we're good to go now. Now we need to go to clearance because we need to get our IFR clearance. So let's pop onto there. 123.405. Transfer. There we go. Pleasant clearance, Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra. Request IFR clearance to Bromma with information Zulu. Kind of got that the wrong way around.
Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra, Flesland Tower delivery. Information Zulu. Correct, expect runway 17, go cap 2. Charlie departure, initial climb to 6,000 feet. Squawk 3632.
Okay. Expect runway 17, go cap 2 Charlie departure, initial climb to 6,000 feet, squawk 3632, Golf Mike Sierra. So 3632.
Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra, read back correct. Contact ground 121.9 when ready for start or taxi.
Wilco Golf Mike Sierra. Okay, that's there.
Negative, ground on 121.9.
Oh yeah, idiot. Ground on 121.9, Golf Mike Sierra. You, Pillock, not reading back a frequency. That's a Billy Basic thing. That's rookie error number 1 of the day. Right, so 1026, let's get that on the altimeter. Did I get that? 1026, yeah. Quite high pressure today, isn't it? Okay, so that's all set up. That's all set up. That's absolutely fine. Let's take off the head tracking because it looks like we're tilting, which we're not. Thank God. Okay, so for myself, quick recap. We've got our clearance. I've got the transponder sorted out. I've got the altimeter sorted out. I've checked the HSI against the whiskey compass. We've got that slaved here, which means that that's going to kind of correct itself. Let's have that on. Not really worried about that too much. I can now put the flaps back to neutral, and otherwise I think everything else is absolutely fine, isn't it? It's getting a little bit murky, so I'm just going to just have some lights on because we like playing with the lights. Okay. Brilliant, Adja, great. I will catch up with the chat, but I noticed Adja had said that the aeroplane was a little bit too quiet, so I've just turned that up a bit in the mix. Okay, let's have ground on 121.9. Switch. There we go. Okay, just check that I haven't done anything silly. That's all good. Where are we in terms of the airport here? We're actually, this is the general aviation area of Flesland. It looks like, but it looks more like they've kind of sent us off in shame somewhere. But this is the, as I say, this is the GA area. I'm just going to pop, let's get some of these on because we are starting to mist up just a little bit. Here's another bit of Accu-Sim. You got the windows misting up because we're sitting in there breathing on them. And let's get the blower, and there we go. Let's get some air moving around in here. It simulates all this stuff. It's incredible. It's amazing. Right, yes, I wanted to see where I was so I can actually talk. I can give the correct position in BeyondATC land. So we are on, is that ramp 102, November 102, and it's 17, isn't it? Flesland ground, Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra on ramp November 102, request taxi to runway 17.
Widrow 808, ramp 46, taxi via Alpha 5, Charlie, Whiskey. Ramp 46 via Alpha 5, Charlie, Whiskey, Widrow 808. Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra, runway 17, taxi via Bravo Yankee Alpha 2.
Runway 17, taxi via Bravo Yankee Alpha 2, Golf Mike Sierra. Don't just say your name twice. So let's have a look. If I lock it off on here, just conscious I don't want to move my head around a lot. So we're going Bravo Yankee Alpha 2. So come on. Come on. There we go. So Bravo Yankee Alpha 2. So we're not going to go right to the end. We're going to take that one there. Fantastic. Love it. All good. All good. Okay, let's take that off now. 6,000 feet, wasn't it? And the transition was 070 or 7,000 feet. So just got to remember that. We're squawking. Why have I got that? 3, 6, 3, 2. I don't know what I did. I thought I'd done the this is why it's always good to check, certainly for me. Move that pickup truck, please. We're about to move. So quick check. We have 2 engines that started. Everything is fine there. We have got the lights on that we want. We've got pitot heat on. Engines are purring quite nicely. We've warmed up at 1000 RPM. We will just pull out and then I'll do that run up I was talking about. So just checking that there are no cars. We've had our taxi clearance. And with the Aerostar, it's got an electronic nose wheel steering system, so we're steering using switches. And I've actually got, listen, Starsky, get out of the way. I've got those set up on switches on my yoke. Okay, so I'm going to plonk it here, and we'll do a quick run up now. So parking brake on, checklist up. Blah 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 blah. Right. Mixture's rich, throttle up to 1500 RPM. Checking the instruments, everything is good. Check the alternator, 28 volts is good. So that's still fine. Now throttle up to 2,100. Cycle of props, 1. Okay, that's all good. Let that come back up again, and we can do a quick mag check. So, starting with the right-hand engine, and I'm going to shut up so we can listen as well. So that's the right, that's both. Check the left. That's all good. Now the left-hand engine. Right. Left. That's all good. Happy with that. Check gyro pressure. Perfect. And calm. There we go. And peace descended in the fjord in Norway. So just leaning us again while we're on the ground, and we can dispense with that for the time being. Let's get going, because the controller's probably thinking, hang on a minute, I gave that guy taxi clearance and he's faffing around messing with his engines. It's got plenty of beans, this thing, by the way. As you can see, taxing it, you do have to be a little bit careful you don't let it run away. It's kind of, you know, like with the turboprop, it's very easy to find yourself in a situation where you're suddenly flying along at the rate of knots. Might see some of the big boys. There were some here earlier on. You can probably hear the switch, but if you look at the top left of the instrument panel there, you can see that switch flicking around. So that's me steering. Now, there they are. You can see some fins over there. So turning into Yankee. I think we've got something on finals. It's funny, I think, as I said, I've never really done much in the way of ATC stuff, but once you start doing it, it's quite addictive, and having the traffic injection from BeyondATC is rather cool. And we can see we've got a guy, he'll be on the tower frequency at the moment, so of course we can't hear him. A little bit bumpy. Who's that? Mark, thank you for subscribing. Much appreciated, mate. Good to have you on board. There he goes.
Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra. Contact Flesland Tower 119.1.
Tower on 119.1, Golf Mike Sierra. 119.1. Transfer. There we go. Pheasant Tower, Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra at holding point Alpha 2, ready for departure. Should have said holding.
Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra, runway 17, line up and wait.
Runway 17, line up and wait, Golf Mike Sierra. Line up and rate, right, mixture's fully rich. Let's have the landing lights and the strobes on. Let's be careful where we're steering. So, we can't go yet, I guess, because that other guy is still on the runway. How exciting. How real. The immersion. There you go. There he is. Or is he? Can't really tell. Let's just line up. Line up and wait, please. There we go. bumpy runway, isn't
Golf
it?
Delta Romeo Mike Sierra, Flesland Tower, wind 240 at 4, runway 17, cleared for takeoff.
Copy the winds, cleared for takeoff, runway 17, Golf Mike Sierra. Okay, quick look. Have we done anything silly? No, we've got all our lights on, everything is fine, not using the flaps. Engines are all tickety-boo, and I think we're good to go. Rate of climb. Gear up. Let's get into 24 and 24 with our manifold pressure and RPM. Proper murky, isn't it?
Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra, contact Flesland departure 126.1.
Departure 126.1 Golf Mike Sierra. No, got to transfer it. There we go. Really should have set that up beforehand so I wasn't having to do it in the climb. Pleasant departure, Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra with you on the GOC 2 Charlie departure, climbing to 6,000 feet.
Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra, Flesland departure, identified climb to flight level 090.
Climb to flight level 090, Golf Mike Sierra. So we'll wait till we pass 7,000 feet and then we'll switch to standard barometric pressure. It is proper murky. Isn't it? Oh, do you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to put the fuel pumps on. That's why I should have checked the checklist. That's the kind of thing I'm talking about. Should have had the fuel pumps on for takeoff. Let's have some trim. Apologies for not being very chatty. I am having to concentrate a tad.
Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra, contact Polaris Control 118.55.
Bring us back on track. Contact Polaris Control 118.55 Golf Mike Sierra. Transfer. Polaris Control, Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra on the GOC 2 Charlie departure, climbing to flight level 090, passing 7,000 feet. Now we can go to 1013.
Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra, Polaris Control, good afternoon, identified, continue climb to flight level 090.
Continue climb to flight level 090, Golf Mike Sierra. So we're on standard barometric pressure.
Negative, continue climb to flight level 090.
Oh, I don't know. What did I say? Continue climb to flight level 090 Golf Mike Sierra. It's nice to be above the cloud, I have to say. Up in the sun. It's always sunny up top. There we go. Now just a bit of a gentle left turn. Let's plumb this in. So I can get a bit of a, because we've got a funny kind of view here, and you can see in the climb we've got a over on the right engine temperatures. We've got it doesn't mean it's about to blow up. It's because we're in the climb and it gets rather hot in the climb. Don't bust your altitude. There we go. I'll tell you a bit about power settings in a second because it's quite interesting. Bit of tower of cloud there, come on. So we're still on the SID. I need to trim. It's incredible how, especially in an aircraft like this, trim really is your friend. It can be so much easier to fly if you've got it trimmed right, because then you're not fighting it all the time. And I'm saying that more to myself because I hadn't really done a good job of trimming it out, so I was fighting the aircraft when really I could have actually just made it a lot easier. So let's there we go, that's better. I haven't got Atmos turned on at the moment, by the way. I'm going to turn that on in a minute, and then you can see what that does, just in case anyone's interested. And then I can finally catch up the chat. But I just wanted to do this first bit of the departure hand fly it. If anything, just for my own practice. I haven't got a little nav map up, so I can't see what the live wind is, but I can feel that you can kind of see we're crabbing a little bit there. Watch we don't bust the altitude again, please. Thank you. Someone on a recent video, and I love this. I almost thought of printing it off and sticking it on my wall, but someone on a recent one of these videos said I wouldn't fly with this guy, with like a shocked face emoji, and I replied neither would I. And I thought it kind of right, that's there. Let's have nav altitude boof. Heading I wanted. I just actually, this is from flying different aircraft. So very quickly, with the Aerostar, this is a key point that I just demonstrated purely by accident, but actually it's worked out quite well that I did. So we're on autopilot now. We're level at flight level 090, which is perfect. But we want to fly the course that's on the GPS. We're still flying the kind of final phase of the SID. And to get the aircraft to follow the GPS, in any other aircraft we would stick it onto nav mode down here, and then we'd have the GPS, we'd have the Garmin in GPS mode, and then off we'd go. what happens with the Aerostar is it's got a very old school Sentry 4 autopilot, and we've got this lovely brand spanking new GTN-XI. They don't talk the same language. So what you need is an interpreter, which is the switch here, pointing at it like you can actually see what I'm pointing at. There we go. And that the GPSS system acts as a interpreter between our lovely GPS and our old Sentry 4 autopilot. And effectively it means that so long as you have the Garmin in GPS mode, you have that switch here set to GPS, and you have heading mode in the Sentry 4, not nav. You use nav if you're flying VOR or something like that, but if you want to follow the GPS, you need to put it into heading mode. Nice and simple. Okay, right, so we've got the autopilot doing that, and before I start checking the chat and catching up with you lot, the other thing we need to do is lean, and I'm going to lean Richard Peak, and I'm actually going to use the electronic engine display here, which is something I tend not to do. I tend to do it kind of old school by looking at the EGT, which is nicely displayed on here, of course, but also kind of listening to it. But we're gonna use it this time. So the first thing I'm going to do is start leaning it ever so gently. You can just see I'm pulling the levers back ever so slightly. And I think you're meant to do it so it's about 50 degrees. There we go, we're turning now. I think it's meant to be 50 degrees, is it 50 degrees Richard Peak, where you think it might be, so I'm just kind of guessing, but I'm going to leave it there. And then we will put it into, we will press the button here, so it's lean Richard Peak, and now we can start bringing it back. And you see it's monitoring our, there we go, so that's flashing now. So it's monitoring our hottest cylinders in each engine. Going to keep coming back on the mixture. And I'm just doing it ever so slightly. This is a slow process because you need time for the system to kind of catch up. There we go. So we've got peak on the left engine. Not quite there on the right yet. There we go, peak on the right, and now I'm just going to enrich them just a little bit more until these numbers here say I'm going to go for 50 degrees Richard Peak on both of those. So just again gently, same process, moving it forward ever so slightly and giving it time to catch up. I mean, I've just nudged it forward slightly and you can see the numbers are rising, so it's not, for me, it doesn't always feel like an exact science, but there we go. I just want to get above 50 and then we're all tickety-boo. There we go. Happy with that. We'll leave those where they are and press that. So there we go. We are all sorted out. Okay, so quick check, landing lights can come off now, these are all good, that's absolutely fine, engines are doing well. I've got the throttles open full tap now, so I can't get any more out of that because of where we are, and we are on course, and that's fine. So let's have a quick look at the engine analyzer. So you can see here we're leaned, but we're not green. If we wanted to be, if we wanted to go full economy, for example, we could go lean at peak. We could actually use this to go lean at peak. These would be green. Green means that you're running economy, but we're running full bore, which isn't great for your engines. I mean, it's not that it's a disaster for your engines, obviously, but if you wanted to save some fuel and if you wanted to, you know, less wear and tear on the engines, then you can go lean at peak. I'm by no stretch at all an expert on leaning an aircraft, so that's just my understanding of it. That's the best way of saying it. Okay, so let's quickly come back here, and I just want to check cruise. Power is set, mixtures are sorted, we've done that. Fuel quantity is absolutely fine. Fuel pump verified off. Fuel pressure is good. And engine gauges check, everything's fine. Okay, so we can close that. I'm now going to lock off the... There we go. I'm going to grab my mug of tea, and I can actually now catch up with the chat, which has been going absolutely bonkers. And, oh blimey, there is so much. Right, okay, let's have a look. Bear with me while I quickly catch up and have a slug of tea. Board, how are you doing? Board is a resident of the Bergen area. Oh, A2A's here. A2A, how are you doing? Nice to have you along. I hope I do your aircraft justice. A2A have said, looks like Rob has immediately opted to eat soup as his flight meal. That's some soup conditions. It is. Live conditions in Norway over here. As we head to Sweden, it should actually clear up. I'm hoping it's going to be quite nice. It looked like that earlier anyway. Wow, so much in there. Skyhawk, hello, how you doing? Andre, how are you doing? Arcady, good to see you. Okay, we're getting there. Okay, I think I've caught up with everything now. My name will go on the list. What's that? Blimey, it's gone dark. Look at that. Right, quick check of the temperature. Blimey, 46 degrees centigrade we've got now. I love this. I love this. So this is what I'm talking about. In terms of the depth of simulation, there is so much simulated here. I am cooking you senseless. 46 degrees. We might be in Norway, but you're feeling right now like you're in the Sahara Desert. So I need to turn that down a bit. So let's close these. Close those down a bit, and then we'll keep an eye on this. Bring the temperature down a tad. I'm going to just pop that off for a second as well. So we're above the cloud, which is nice. Nice to come out of that. And there you see a little arrow showing that the temperature is dropping. Honestly, if you've never experienced Accu-Sim, the level of detail, the little things that are in there are absolutely amazing. Of course, there's some things, if you're doing it for real, for example, I as the pilot, without looking at that, would have known damn well it was getting too hot and you do something about it. So when you're flying in the sim, you do have to kind of think in a slightly different way, because there are things that you can't feel that you can in real life, so it's not quite so obvious, but you can see that temperature's coming down now. People were starting to complain about the temperatures rising. So when does the Comanche get ready for 2024? Andre, it's kind of, I don't know. I mean, it's I've been flying it in 2024 without any problem at all. It hasn't got the 2024 walk around. It's got the kind of original walk around thing, but I honestly, hello, co-pilot Cat's here. Steady on. Flying an aircraft. Yeah, I don't miss anything by flying it in 2020. It's got everything that I want, so I wouldn't worry about that too much. Kaiser Sausage, who, that name will always make me laugh. I wish it didn't, because I've seen it enough now, but it always makes me laugh. But there you go. Yes, you were boiling. Well, you're not now. The temperature's coming down a bit. Temperature's dropping. We're down to 40 degrees now, so it is coming down. Okay, cool. Okay, I'm going to quickly mention, because I think we've had some more people join since the start. We're doing a giveaway, very simply. At the end of this stream, I'm going to ask you a question. If you want to enter the competition, all you've got to do is send an email to the email address that will be in the video description. Don't worry, I'll go through all this at the end. You just send the answer to that at...
Winner 158, Polaris Control, expect bus to 1 Papa, runway 24.
How rude.
Expect bus to 1 Papa, runway 24, Winner 158.
At 2100 hours tomorrow, that's the 12th of October, at 2100 hours Zulu, I will pick 3 random email addresses out of the people that have emailed, and I am then going to ping those over to those great people at A2A Simulations, who are then going to get in touch with you and deliver to you your shiny new Aerostar so that you can get Aerostaring. So if you haven't got the Aerostar and you fancy a chance of winning one, then stick around, and you've got a chance of doing it. And for all the people who are watching this on the recorded version, you still have an opportunity, because so long as you're watching this and you enter the competition before 2100 hours tomorrow, the 12th of October, then you can still enter. So it's kind of fair for everybody. I've done giveaways before and people say, oh, I was too busy, I couldn't get onto the live stream. Well, you don't have to. You know, it's fair for everybody. Fairness, that's what it's about. We're being fair. Let's have a look at the engine instruments. They're all good. Happy with that. Right, let's have a quick check of the chat. Yeah, Comanche works great in 24 regardless of 24 native features. Absolutely. I think the only thing that would be cool, I love the walk around in 2024 because it means you can literally walk around the aircraft, and it's a lot more immersive than the fixed position kind of walk around. But honestly, yeah, the Comanche in 2024 is just blooming marvellous anyway. A2A just making the point, Comanche already ships with MSFS 2024 installer. The marketplace customers are in the hands of Microsoft at the moment as it's going through the marketplace process. Interesting. Trevor, good point, mate. I completely forgot about Atmos, so we'll have a look at that. Arcady, being an A2A fan since the Shockwave IL2. Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to talk a bit more about that in a second. I wanted to talk a bit about the A2A past. You know, we've talked about the A2A present, but I wanted to talk a bit about the A2A past. Alex, good luck to all. What you trying to say? You got nothing to worry about. Bedbug, what position is your flaps lever? I'm not familiar with the Aerostar. What position is the flaps lever? So the flaps lever is in neutral. So in the Aerostar we've got an up position, a down position and a neutral position. We've got it in the neutral position, so it's neither motoring up nor down. That is it in a nutshell, old chap. Right, okay, so oh, we've gone into cloud, so I can't do that now. I was going to turn Atmos on, wasn't I? Bear with me. My good lady wife is messaging me. It's very important I reply. Okay, Atmos. Let's move you over here. So I'm using the Andrew Bennett presets, and I'm going to start off. We're just going to have the Atmos. So there's weather, Atmos, Enviro. I don't use weather presets because I just use Microsoft weather itself.
021, expect the ILS runway 18 at the back to transition.
Because that's good enough, and it seems to.
1021, expect the ILS runway 18 with the back to transition. Lion Inter Foxtrot India.
Seems to work really well, so I'm not going to mess about with that.
Polaris Control, Nordic 9
So we'll start off with just
91 Charlie.
ATC. Some of us are trying to do a stream here.
Flight level 370.
Okay.
Climb to flight level 370, Nordic 91 Charlie.
Okay, let's get rid of that. So where's the nice? There we go. That's a nice. Oh yeah, perfect. Okay, let's go. Atmos is now coming on, and it'll take a while, take a few seconds before it kind of kicks in. Not there yet. There you go. So that's kicked in. So it's quite subtle, but for me, that looks a little bit more realistic. It's darkened a bit, so it takes your brain a little moment to suddenly think, oh, it's gone dark. But the lighting and the effect to me is a bit more realistic. I didn't have Atmos in 2020, but I bought it for 2024 because I'd heard good things about it. So that's the Atmos, and then I'm going to just load up the Enviro as well. I'm not a technical person, I'm not entirely sure what these do, but if I load up Enviro, there we go. So that's just brightened it, it's just kind of balanced it out a little bit more. And they're the Andrew Bennett presets, if you want to have a look at that. Okay, let's lock off that again. Did I see snow? There's a little bit of snow on the hills. Look at that. Look at that. You can tell we're in the far north when you see that sort of thing. Okay, have I caught up with the chats? Tawny, you should come in Greece to fly. I should. I've done a bit of flying around Cyprus. I've been to Cyprus quite a lot, but you know, I'm talking real life, but I've never been to Greece.
158, Buster 1 Papa, runway 240. Report ready for descent.
And I've flown over Greece in the sim. But I've not.
158, descend to flight level 110.
But I've not done a huge amount of flying there. Just let me a quick check. Okay, that's all good. Let's lock that off again. Where did we get to? Wow. A2A. Depending on sales, the next thing could be a product updates or product expansion. We have ideas of what we would like to do, but are letting the sales lead. That's fair enough. Alex, I love the view from breaking out of the clouds. Me too. That's one of those special moments, isn't it? When you break out of cloud into the sun, it's just absolutely beautiful. Really nice. Binky, how are you doing? Good to see you, mate. Michael, how are you? Hope all is good with you. Ivan, you should turn on the noise cancellation headset. The Gut Chest A2A, I'm a huge fan. There you go. Anthony, how are you doing? So yeah, so Ivan is pointing out a very very interesting feature, which I quite often in this aircraft don't always remember to use, because I actually quite like the sound of the engines. I'm the kind of person that plays music way too loud in a headset, which is one of the reasons why I'm going deaf. But I'm just looking at that scenery. Wow. However, A2A, who, let's face it, as we've seen, how's your temperature, by the way? 21 degrees. You alright with that? Yeah, everyone alright in the back? And you can see the temperature isn't dropping or climbing, so we've just locked it off with a nice...
5 Foxtrot, turn right heading 005, climb to flight level 110.
A nice level, so...
Right, heading 005,
Come on.
climb to flight level 110, Skavak Zulu 5 Foxtrot.
So what I was referring to is this.
Skavak
So,
Zulu 5 Foxtrot, Polaris
go.
control, expect Oswald 7 Mike, runway 21.
so that's level 1. You can see we...
Expect Oswald 7 Mike, runway 21, Skavak Zulu 5 Foxtrot.
No, don't stop. We got the cans on now, so we're blocking out the engine noise. We can still hear the ATC, but we're blocking out the engine noise. we can go one step further, because if I click on this, we've just turned on noise cancellation. So A2A are simulating noise cancellation headsets. That's absolutely amazing. And actually, for example, if I was doing a group flight now and I was chatting to people on Discord, I would have that on, just so I could hear them a little bit better. But it's those little things, that kind of attention to detail, that is what make A2A so amazing. And I said I was going to talk a bit about the past. Just checking our route there. That's all good. Quick check over here. I want to talk, but also I'm conscious that I'm flying an aeroplane, so I don't want anything to go awry. So we've got a nice ground speed, 258 knots. That's all good. Happy with that. A2A, and I'm not just saying this because they're in the chat, because I think they probably know this because I've been saying it for years, but it was A2A that got me to take flight sim seriously. Let's lock that off. Because you know, like a lot of people, I've been flight simming since I was, well, since the early 80s. I had the Scion flight simulator on the ZX Spectrum. But it was always just messing about with it, and it was the same, to be fair, with the later flight sims. And
Scandinavian 365, Polaris control, expect Belgium 3 Lima, runway 01 left.
I guess it was about...
Expect Belgium 3 Lima, runway 01 left, Scandinavian 365.
maybe 12, 13 years ago.
Quebec Zulu 5 Foxtrot, Oswald 7 Mike,
I wanted to take it. If I talk, by the way, if I talk over the ATC, can you still hear me? If someone could let me know, that would be great, because I can't really keep stopping for them. As much as I love the accent, I've got to, kind of got to press on. Yeah. So I went and got the I think it was the 172. It was my first. It was my first Accu-Sim. I've just seen what A2A have said. You cheeky buggers. It was the first. It was the first Accu-Sim aircraft I bought, and I'd never really bought third-party aircraft. I just used default, and I'd had some real-world flying training in a previous life with a job that I had, or some training I was doing rather in a previous life. And anyway, so I kind of had a feel for what a real aircraft was like. And I got that Accu-Sim Cessna, and I thought, God, yeah, this actually is close to what it felt like. And that kind of opened my eyes a little bit, and that was where I started. And then of course I got the Spitfire, and then I just got totally into the A2A Warbirds, the T6, the Mustang. Funny enough, never really got into the P40 or so much. And I bought the Thunderbolt probably about 2 weeks before I switched to P3D, and then of course you couldn't use it in P3D. But if you know the channel, if you've been following the channel's been going for 10 years now. There are a ton of videos about A2A Warbirds and that kind of stuff. I did the Silver Spitfire circumnavigation in the A2A Spitfire Mark II in P3D. It just, as I say, it kind of opened my eyes. So it was A2A that really got me into simming and taking it seriously. And as I said before, they make simulators for the military, for government organisations, for commercial organisations. So they're busy making the big toys, and every now and again we're lucky because they make something for us as well. So that's pretty cool. Just having a look down here. There we go. So yeah, I am very excited to see what A2A do next. I tell you what I am going to say though, Lewis, you know I'm going to say it. P51. We need a P51. There we go. Let's catch up with the chat. Northland, how you doing? Good to see you, mate. Northland is in Alaska. there's certain areas of the world that I'd love to live in. Norway is one of them. Alaska is another one. When I was very young, I had this idea that I would come out of the Air Force, having you know, flown fast jets and all that sort of thing, and then I would kind of I'd be like a bush pilot in Alaska, and I'd fly you know, beavers or that kind of thing. I don't mean the animals, I mean the aircraft, and yeah, never quite came to plan.
158. Contact Hovden
But,
information approach 118.905.
Lovely part of the world. Just going to lock the view off there because it's a bit more interesting, isn't it? Look at that. Sparky, I could turn the ATC down, but I do need to listen to it, old chap. I need to listen to it just in case they do talk to me. You can actually, with BeyondATC, you can link the ATC volume to the volume control in your on here. So actually, I could let's try it. Oh, trying to get the click spot. Hold on. There we go. See if that knocks it down a little bit. Where did we get to? Recently bought the Comanche. Such a pleasure it is. It's great fun. Really nice single-engined GA aircraft. And I must admit, for me, it's kind of yeah. There's not much else that I want to fly really when it comes to single-engine GA. Tawny, I have to admit, you made me change to Warbirds from Beyond. Warbirds are great. The challenge is amazing. It was funny, I did a video some time ago, why fly Warbirds in a non-shooty simulator, because some people just don't get it. And the B-17 video that I did just recently, again, a lot of people in the comments, you know, what's the point? And the point of it is that you're learning to fly an aircraft that's quite difficult to fly. You're mastering all the different aspects of it. And when I fly Warbirds in this sim, I'm kind of flying it as in a like a modern restoration. So the kind of aircraft that you see at air displays and that kind of thing, that's what I'm simulating. And the point of it is that you fly them, and you can fly them in a modern world anywhere you want. If you want to fly out of Duxford, you can fly out of Duxford. If you want to fly out of Reno, you can fly out of Reno. If you want to fly out of the middle of some desert somewhere, you can do. You've got the whole world is your oyster, flying your lovely Warbird, and that to me is what the point is. Blah 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 blah. Oh, interesting. Arcady said P51 would be lovely, but P40 gang assemble. Yeah, I never got into the P40. I mean, the A2A P40 was excellent, and I did have it, and I flew it a little bit, and I made a couple of videos, but it didn't kind of capture me in the same way as the Spitfire and the P51, and of course the T6. The T6 is just sublime. It really is. Beautiful simulation. I'm not going to go on at Lewis in the chat about what we'd like to see, because he gets it all the time. Whenever he appears, people are always saying, Lewis, can we have him? So I'm not going to say it, but he knows how I feel about it anyway. P51. Right, Alex has said, can you turn ATC down? They'll send a Typhoon to talk to you if they need you. Yeah, that's true. What do we get? I think I've caught up now. Kaiser Sausage. Flying, I thought this was American Truck Simulator. How bloody rude. How rude. But look at that. That is, that's a sight to want to make you get your flask of tea out, isn't it? That's why I love this sim. The ground is just, the detail on the ground, but also the way it makes you feel. I mean, it's kind of, I don't know if it comes across when you're not actually doing the flying. If you're watching this on a stream, I don't know if it's the same, and it probably helps that I've got a big screen in front of me. But I almost feel a little bit of a chill looking down on there. Certainly wouldn't want to go pranging in. So everything is looking good. Just making sure I keep checking things, because we don't want anything embarrassing to happen. That's all good.
Lion into Foxtrot India, cleared direct Bapto. Cross Bapto at or above 3,148 feet, cleared ILS runway 18.
How is the volume on that ATC after I turned it down a bit?
Cross Bapto at or above 3,148 feet, cleared ILS runway 18, Lion into Foxtrot India. Nordic 45 Whiskey, contact Oslo traffic information approach.
Turning it down a bit more.
122.0.
I can still hear it.
Approach 122.0 Nordic 45 Whiskey.
Yeah, I can still hear it. That's good.
Polaris Control, Wideroo 1414. Good afternoon. Out of flight level 093 for flight level 120, direct BR 626.
Wideroo 1414A, Polaris Control. Good afternoon.
Board, are you still in the chat, mate?
Flight level 250.
Climb to flight level 250, Wideroo 141.
Thanks, Anthony. That's good to know. It is kind of cool that you can control it on the volume control there. Something I do find, I was saying it last night on the quite often when I'm live streaming, if you're new by the way, I fly helicopters doing search and rescue and HEMS missions using the high performance group H145 and a couple of mods and that kind of stuff. And I was doing one last night in the Bergen area, but one of the things I was saying is that for some reason in Norway, you can kind of see it more over there, I guess. Sometimes the detail is a little bit, it's almost like the Bing data. You can see over there it looks very P3D, but then if you look down there, suddenly it's very kind of detailed, so it does seem to be a bit kind of mismatched sometimes. But that looks pretty cool down there. One can almost imagine the glacial sheets grinding down the ground, moving the rock. Maybe not. Michael, you should try the Australian Outback. I should. You know, I've done a little bit of flying there, but it's been a long time. It's been a long time since I've flown there, but I should do. You're absolutely right. Adja, thanks for joining, mate. Oh, you're going to get it? Yeah, it's you won't be disappointed. If you know the channel, you know I'm not like a traditional review channel. I don't review everything and all that kind of stuff, but I tend to just get involved in things that I really kind of like. And I've got to say the Aerostar is perfect for me as a nice twin. So you absolutely won't be disappointed with it. I can assure you. The level of depth of the simulation. So what it's all about is immersion, isn't it? You want to feel immersed in what you're flying. And if the aircraft feels like it's kind of living, breathing, and it's reacting to how you're flying it and the way you're operating it as well, then it kind of feels that much more alive. You feel more part of it, and it draws you back. It makes you want to get back in it. A big test for me, and I would love to know if you guys in the chat feel the same way, but a big test for me for a flight sim aircraft is it like it's like an itch that you can't scratch. When you can't fly it, are you kind of, you know, imagining the next flight you're going to do, thinking of how it works, thinking, I must remember I've got to do X, Y, Z or whatever, or I want to try that, or I wonder what it'd be like doing a night flight in it. That for me is when I know that an aircraft has kind of got me. There's a lot of aircraft that I bought. I never contact I don't contact developers asking for free aircraft to review or anything like that. Most of the time I buy them. I was very lucky that A2A gave me the opportunity to fly this one, and I was on the beta testing team. So very grateful for them for that. But yeah, I kind of buy what interests me, but sometimes I buy something and then I fly it once or twice, then I don't fly it and I leave it. But the Comanche and the Aerostar certainly aren't in that, and actually they've stopped me from buying some other aircraft that I'm just really not that interested in, because I don't need them. I got these. People ask me why I hadn't got the black square Starship, but I'm not really interested in the design of the Starship. It kind of doesn't appeal to me. Although Black Square are very good. To be fair to them, Black Square King Air is where I started. It's kind of where I learnt my IFR ATC chops, and that's a nice little simulation there. Yeah, Tawny, good point. Buy direct. It's always a good thing to support the developer directly. That's absolutely true. Absolutely true. Andre said, and sound and flight model is so important. They are. I mean, it's in some ways it kind of goes without saying, doesn't it? But there is nothing worse than an aircraft that looks amazing, but the flight model is terrible, and it feels like you're in GTA or something. I mean, what is the point? Absolutely no point at all. So I totally agree with you on that. And going back to what I was saying when I first got into A2A, it was that feeling of the Cessna. It felt like I distinctly remember it was on approach. It felt like what I remembered when I did my flying training, that the feel of the holding the yoke and how it was behaving and how you were trimming it and how it was sitting. It all felt very familiar, and I'd not really felt that with default before, so that made a huge amount of difference. Northland, I do that frequently with certain helicopters. Always thinking about them. Yes, yeah, no, I do you know, I'm the same with the HEM stuff, Northland. If I see an air ambulance going by, or if I see it on telly or something like that, I want to jump in the sim. It's crazy, absolutely crazy, but it's a bug. It really is a bug. There are some things that you just get hooked to, and you know, once you are, that's it. You keep thinking about it. I guarantee you, when I finish this stream, you know, this is a reasonably long flight. When I finish this stream and I close everything down and I'll go downstairs and I'll get a bite to eat, and then I'll be thinking, oh, I really fancy flying a helicopter around the mountain somewhere or something like that. It just gets you. It gets you. Toby, I feel the same way, Rob. I had so much hangar in P3D, less so in 2020, and taking that through. Yeah, I went the opposite, Toby. I was quite careful what I bought in P3D, really, because I only kind of bought A2A. And then when we went into 220 and A2A hadn't developed anything yet, that's when I started buying other stuff. And I'm not going to mention any names or anything like that, but I was buying aircraft because of how they looked, and people were saying, this is a game changer, and all that kind of thing. And then I'd fly it and think, it's not. I can get why people enjoy it, but it's not for me. And that doesn't mean that I am being snobby or saying I have a higher standard than anybody else. It's not that at all. It's what you enjoy and what feels right for you. And I think it's great. If there's one thing that I find really irritating about simulation as a hobby is kind of sim snobbery, where you get people you know, looking down at other people because of what they choose to fly or what sim they choose to use, or you know, whatever, or what type of flying they do. For I nearly said something then. That was... have a sip of tea. Have a sip of tea to wash that out of my mouth. Hold on. For Blammin' exec, just do what you enjoy, and if someone enjoys flying a certain aircraft, then crack on. It's a hobby. It's about what you enjoy. Just because you choose to fly, I remember initially with 2020, you know, there were some people who were saying, "Oh, it's just a game," you know, because it's on Xbox. It's just a game. It's not a proper sim, and all that kind of thing, and kind of looking down on it. And I must admit, initially I didn't like it, not because I thought it wasn't a proper sim, but I just didn't like it. I was so ingrained in P3D. And the default aircraft, I just didn't like them, and I stayed with A2A in P3D. And then as the third-party stuff started coming out, I started flying more in it, and I fell in love with it. And it just looks great. It looks like the real world, and I can't fly in P3D now because of that. But seriously, fly what you want to fly, do what you want to do. If you enjoy it, if you find it rewarding, that's what it's about. It's not about what patch you've got on your arm, you know, for whichever sim you're in, or what aircraft you're flying, or what developer you're flying. I know people who are real-world pilots who fly and enjoy aircraft that I don't like, and I don't like the feel of. And it's all just personal opinion, and that's all it is. And if someone else enjoys it, who the hell am I to say, "Oh no, that's not a problem simulation"? Honestly. Anyway, rant over. Sorry about that. Just catching up with the chat. Yeah, Michael, that's a good point. It's like that with some people's rigs that they buy, yeah. Carter sausage, rideable horses would be nice. I used to love My Little Pony. You're guaranteed to come out with some corkers. With a name like that, shouldn't really be surprised. It's going to happen at some point, isn't it? We've got boats, we've got cars. We haven't yet got the horses, but I guess it's only a matter of time. You have a cup of tea, Pat Rob? I don't. In fact, I don't know about you lot. It feels rude. It feels rude leaving the chat. But I am due for a tea top-up. So quite soon I might need to jump out and make a cup of tea, that's for sure. With all the talking I'm doing, all the yakking, makes the old mouth go dry. Adja, that is a very good point, and I'm going to read that out. So Adja just said, I agree 100%. I tried but hated flying the big planes, A320 to see. It bored me to tears personally, but I'd never tell anyone not to fly them. It's completely their choice, and I am 100% with you on that. I am not interested in flying airliners. This flying that we're doing today is it's quite a rare thing for me to do. But I do it because it's skills that I want to learn, and I want to be able to do it. But it's not something that I would choose to do all the time, and I certainly wouldn't choose to spend hours flying an A320. But the fact that someone can actually do it and have GSX and they can load the food onto it and all is pretty blooming amazing. You've got to be honest. It's not my thing, but it's pretty blooming amazing that they can do it. So all power to them. I'm not going to read that out. I've just read something. I'm not going to read that. Yeah, Tawny. I would love to see some. I would love to see some more warbirds in MSF. MSFS 24. Good quality warbirds is what I would love to see. Lewis, P51. That would be good. Alex said, yeah, no shame. Normalised hot air balloons at Mach 1. Michael, I should have done a flask. What was it? The 7 Ps. I don't know if I can say the first word of that, but you know what I mean. Exactly. A2A Simulations. Having a computer fly the plane is boring, we agree. Until we make one, then it's the best thing since sliced bread. Yeah. Do you know, it's very true. It's very true. I mean, for this kind of flying, for en route flying, when we started off, I wanted to fly 90% of the SID because I wanted to do the hand flying thing. But this kind of thing, when it's A to B, or it's quite a straight route, this. I'm not going to hand fly this, especially when I want to talk to you. So yeah, it's but it's a good point. It's a good point. Just message Miss Streams of Wings. She is out, mate. She is out, which is one of the reasons why I'm able to stream on a Saturday afternoon. Unfortunately, the only life form I have here is Copilot Cat. And Copilot Cat is absolutely crap at making tea and has no opposable thumb, so really finds it quite tricky to do everything that needs to be done. Michael, we should do some dog fighting, that would be fun. Do you know what I do? Just going back to what I was saying before about flying warbirds in this sim. I've not done it for a while actually, but I did have some fun flying in IL2 in VR. That was great fun. Really immersive and atmospheric when you're flying along in VR and you've got tracers zipping past you. Yeah, it certainly brings it home, that's for sure. Northland, all I used to fly was airliners. Little Rob inflected me with helicopters about 10 months ago. I'm sorry about that, mate. But it happened to me. All I used to fly was warbirds. I very rarely flew GA. I just used to fly warbirds pretty much all the time. And then 2020 opened my eyes a little bit more to GA because there wasn't really that much in the way of warbirds at the time. And then I got into helicopters because I'm trying to remember how I got into helicopters. The first helicopter I got was the HPG H145, but I can't remember what made me buy that. But I do know that I'd watched a stream by Sergio, helisimmer.com, where he was talking about how to learn to fly helicopters, and it just struck me as being a like a skill set or a way of flying that would be quite interesting and quite a challenge. So I started doing it, and I just got absolutely hooked. And of course, you've got the H145, which these days I only really use for search and rescue and flying air ambulance missions and that sort of thing. But when you start getting into like Taugs hangars, Huey, the 500C, the Llama, they're huge amounts of fun. Seat to your pants. That 500C is like my Spitfire of the helicopter world. If I had the 500C down there now, it'd be great fun zipping along through the valleys and all that kind of thing. It's a wonderful, wonderful helicopter. There you go. Michael's put it in there, slightly toned down. What I can say. Always a bit paranoid about using certain words when I'm live, because I think sometimes, depending on what you say, it can affect. Old nanny YouTube jumps in and says, "Naughty boy, rude word." Mr. D, so what was the best thing before sliced bread? Very good point. Very good point. I would say probably a warm, crusty roll with a lot of butter. and if you were lucky, maybe some bacon or sausages or something. But I would say that was probably the best thing before sliced bread. Paul, that's an interesting point. A2A, any chance you could do a helicopter? Do you know what, Lewis? I know you're not into helicopters, my friend, but if anybody could make a good helicopter with that attention to detail, I know you guys could. But I know it's not your bag. I know it's not A2A's bag, so that's fair enough, Ski. But yeah, helicopter flying is addictive. It's I just heard something. Just have a quick look around. I heard kind of a clunk, which in Accu-Sim you really do need to keep an eye on, because anything that clunks could be something that's happened. Just going to check on your temperature, 21 degrees, so it's all nice and stable now. It's like a bit like a church organ. We've got our plungers here. We pulled those out a bit. We've got the heater on. We've got the fans on and all that sort of thing. So everyone is nice and comfortable. So that's all good. Hot rolls out the oven with spread cheese. Speed cheese. Spread cheese, yeah. Speed cheese. Speed cheese. Could almost be a brand, couldn't it? Cheese with speed. Not that kind of speed. Speed. Yeah, there we go, Tawny. I just need to read that. Hang on, what's that? P51. Yes, that's right. P51. Alex, your cat is still better than my duck. She was sleeping the whole flight, but started nibbling on my fingers on approach. No chance of flying helicopters with a duck on your lap. Alex, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Are you saying, Alex, that you actually have a duck in your house? Or is that, do you mean something else? Like, do you call your dog a duck? Something tells me you're going to say you actually have a duck. It wouldn't surprise me. Nothing surprises me anymore in this life. I tell you what I'd like. I'd love an otter. I've been reading some of Gavin Maxwell's books about his time with otters in the northwest of Scotland, and I'd love an otter. Though they're vicious little monkeys. At least it's not windy like the helicopter video you posted and you crashed. Michael, you had to bring it up. You had to bring it up, sunshine. Honestly. What Michael is referring to is I did a live stream, I think it was last weekend, wasn't it? Doing RAF 202 Squadron Search and Rescue HEMS work. And it was the tail end of a storm, so the winds were gusting 35 to 50 knots. Which is well above the actual safe operating. I'm just safe. Should we look out there? What's more interesting? I'll hold it there. And in the chat, tell me what's more interesting, looking at the panel or looking out the window? Yeah, it was well above the operating wind speeds. It was a silly thing to do. The simulator, or the H145 simulation, didn't like it because it was almost like, well, this doesn't compute, this doesn't make any sense. So for example, when we landed to pick up our casualty, I'd closed the engines down, but the wind speed was so high that it was the rotors were still spinning madly. We're just crossing a turning. Let's just check that it's tracking that okay. The rotors were still spinning madly and the engines wouldn't shut down. Even when I actually shut the engines down, the rotor disc was still spinning crazily, which was very unrealistic, but it was because the program was like, what the hell's going on? Hello, that's us. Contact Sweden Control on 118.0 Golf Mike Sierra. good name, isn't it? Sweden Control. What is that? Is that Masev, isn't it? Sweden Control, Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra, flight level 090, just crossed Masev. That's going to go down like a lead balloon. Sometimes if you use... Oh, they liked it. Love the accent. I've got the premium voices on, so you get those lovely regional accents and everything. It's kind of cool. I've completely forgotten what I was talking about. Yeah, so Michael, who very rudely brought up the helicopter crash, which I'm going to come back to. Yes, Alex, you're talking about your duck. We do need photo proof, and as A2A said, whack it in the Discord. If you're in the Discord, that's been posting links. Good old Streamlabs. Yeah, there you go. It's down there. If you're not in the Discord, come along and say hello. And Alex, post your duck, mates. We want to see what a co-pilot duck looks like. I do hope he's got a nice leather flying helmet and goggles, because that's quite important too. You've got to take it seriously. If you're going to have a duck as a co-pilot, you've got to take it seriously. I did get goggles and a helmet for co-pilot Kat, but she didn't take it well. So that didn't last. I am joking. I'm not a cat bird. We've got a cat, but honestly, I'm not like one of those cat nutters. I've got a little jacket or anything. He just likes to join me. I've got a spare chair next to me here, and she quite often likes to come and join me and just sit and watch what's going on. Where do we get to? Paul, I think the channel would be renamed Dreams of Rotors if there was an A2A. Hello. Yeah. I have actually. People quite often say I should change it to Dreams of Rotors, and I am actually considering changing the logo to reflect the mix of warbird and helicopter, but I haven't quite done it yet. But it's something that is definitely on my mind. Norman, do we have AccuFuel for 2020-2024? Not yet. Not yet. Red Nose, what a cool name. He must be going to Finland. Wrong time of year, but he must be going to Finland. Alex, since she lays eggs, she's outside with the others, but she visits me every other day, and let's put it like this, she'll help with my own flight sim project. That's pretty blooming cool. Alex, that is cool. You've got a co-pilot duck. I always think ducks have got a lot of character. They've got that kind of look in their eye, like you don't know if they're going to suddenly leap up and have a nip at your vernaculars, or whether they're just going to watch you. And yeah. So Michael, listen, I'm not letting this go, seeing as you brought it up. So we were talking about the crash, the helicopter crash that Michael brought up. So I talked about the landing and what happened with the rotors. And this isn't an H145 video, so I don't want to labour the points. But Michael, you've made me. Okay? You've made me. My solicitors just phoned up and said, Rob, you've got to address that point that Michael's brought up. Because it could be detrimental to my future as a helicopter pilot. So yeah. What happened was, very quickly, with the H145, when you're on autopilot, which I was, you when you're flying at coming up to the kind of top speed, if you like, for want of a better phrase, and you're at an altitude and you're holding it, there's a very subtle breaking point where you can suddenly be over talking. The autopilot is adjusting the collective so that you stay at the same altitude and you're at the same speed, and the cyclic and all that kind of thing. And if you suddenly get a gust of wind, it suddenly puts the rotors into a higher speed, and it causes overtorque. If you're in the cockpit, then that's fine. It's annoying, it's not very realistic, but you've got a chance to do something about it. The way to avoid it, by the way, is not to fly so blooming fast. But at the time we had a patient on board, I was tanking it back. If you watch those streams, or if you use Random and Anywhere with the HEMS thing, you understand that the patient condition can change So there's a reason why you want to get back quickly. Anyway, and then like an idiot, I had people flying with me, so like an idiot I jumped out of the cockpit into drone view. Remember, with drone view you don't have control over the aircraft anymore. Your controls do nothing, and I was wafting around saying, oh look, there's so and so and there's so and so and that sort of thing. And then as I brought the drone back towards the helicopter, I could hear the rotor speed was dropping, and I had a sinking feeling, as did the helicopter. And I jumped into the, I'll say that before you do, Michael, all right? And then I jumped into the cockpit to find that while I'd been wafting about outside looking at everything, the engine had gone into an overtorque situation, and we were going down. So I took it off autopilot. By that point there's not a lot we can do. Did a crash landing, got the engine started again. Luckily there was no damage to the engines, which is a miracle in itself, because the H145 will simulate engine damage. and off we went. So yes, it was an aircraft crash, but we all survived, and the patient got to the hospital. And thank you for reminding me, Michael. Mike, afternoon. Great to see A2A Simulations in the conversation. Weather is perfect today. Yes. 8. So I was just into that. Yeah, it's nice to be flying A2A Simulations. And if you've joined since the last time I said it, we are doing the giveaway thing. I'll be asking a question at the end of the stream. And then all you've got to do is yeah, we'll cover it off. But even if you're watching this on the recorded version, you'll have until 2100 hours Zulu tomorrow, 12th of Sunday, the 12th of October, to enter the competition. And I was about to try and say enter the competition in Italian, and then I remembered I can't speak Italian that well, and I couldn't remember what it was going to be, and I don't know why it would have been Italian anyway. It should have been Norwegian, but I haven't got a cat and hell's chance of saying anything in Norwegian. Alex, you can put the duck in the A2A Discord and mine if you like. I think I don't think you can ever have too much co-pilot duck, so stick him in all of them. Go for it. Alex, I have a helmet, but ducks don't like wearing clothes. I can imagine. Ducks have got that kind of look in their eye that says, if you try and put that on me, sunshine, if you try and put that on me, I'm coming for you. And because they can fly, you never know where they're going to come from, so it's not a good idea. Not a good idea. Adja, wanted to add, by purchasing from A2A you will get 50 flying hours, so a $5 off your next A2A purchase. That's very true, Adja, very true. So you buy that and you'll get 50 flying hours, so a $5 off your P51, Lewis. P51. I've no idea what the next aircraft from A2A is going to be, by the way, but I just want a I want a P51. We haven't done it yet. Let's jump outside. Oh. Isn't that beautiful? You can see the, I hope you can still see me, by the way. You can see the kind of jet DNA. The Aerostar was going to be a jet initially. You can kind of see that in the design. I especially love the tail fin. I don't know why. There's something about that tail. I love the way the dirt's building up. Beautiful. There we go. it was probably a bit of a shock going from our lovely noise cancelling headset to the sound of the outside. Right, let's do a quick check on where we are. I'll show you on the Navigraph charts so you can have a nice big view. There we go. I think that's working now. There we go. So we are just here. So we're going to come over here into Bromma. Oh, it's on flight following, so it takes back. But we've got our Arsby arrival. Be interested to see if that's changed at all. The weather today seems to be changeable with the winds. It certainly was back in Bergen, so be interested to see if this changes at all when we actually come into it. My God, what on earth is going on? I just noticed co-pilot cat is, let me lock that off. She's obviously looking for attention because she's climbing all over the furniture, but anyway. Bless her heart. Okay, so it is definitely time to make a brew. So we're going to make a brew. You have a choice. I can either leave it in the view that it's in at the moment, so I can leave it with the cockpit view. I can put it in an outside view, so you can just sit and look at the outside while I'm making a cup of tea. You can go and make a cup of tea or get a brew or whatever you want as well. Or I have a rather nice campfire scene in the Scottish Highlands for you. It's entirely up to you, but let's say, I don't know, I'm going to give it, I'll count to 60 and you can take a vote on it. If we don't get any votes, I'm going to leave it where it is. Love it, Michael, NATO standard. Bang on, bang on. It's not often you see or hear that. Love it. Peter, how you doing, mate? Hope all is good with you. I was only thinking about you the other day. Thinking in terms of where you used to live. That I try and get there up that way once a year, but I still pine for it. I'm counting in my head, by the way. That's why I've gone quiet. No one's really kind of voting for the T screen at the moment. Let's fill the chat with ducks. Hey! Hey, you can't see it, can you? Yeah, you can't really see it. So, ducks actually is quite appropriate if we were doing one of the 202 Squadron streams with the H145 that has that livery on it, which is a Sea King that used to be at RAF Lossiemouth. Their squadron emblem is the duck. So there you go. That's actually, the duck is the new mascot. We've got ducks for the dog, but I don't know, something seems quite good about that. Yes, Yorkshire tea is definitely the way. There is no doubt about that. I used to be, I don't know why I used to be PG Tips Triangle, but now I'm Pyramid rather. But now I'm very much Yorkshire tea. Okay, so we've had one vote for the camp scene. One vote for the camp scene. Okay, so I am going to make a cup of tea. I am going to put it on the camp scene. I suggest that if anyone else wants to take this opportunity to get a drink, do what you need to do, then do that. And we'll be back in a few minutes. We've got a little bit of time to run before we get to the transition point for the standard arrival. I'm going to take a risk that ATC won't call me. So, are you ready? We are going to the camp scene, and we will be back in a few minutes to carry on. But go and grab a brew, go and grab something to eat, and I'll see you in a second. And we're back. One mug of NATO standard. There you go, Michael. You saw it. You saw it. I was hoping that someone actually might see the old duck emblem there. There you go. Plenty of ducks. Okay, right. ATC didn't bother us, which is good. I'm just going to do that. Let's have a quick look around. Because this is Accu-Sim, again, we've got to be a little bit careful. Because it could very easily, while we're out making a cup of tea, say, right, sunshine, this is the bit where we pull a failure on you. But everything is looking good. Happy with that. And all good down there. Temperature's dropped a little bit, so I'm just going to pull these down a tad. Let's bring that back up. All good. Just looking at the winds here. So we've got a good old tailwind. What's the ground speed? 255 knots. So that's fine. I was talking before about the engines. So you can see we were, if you saw it at the beginning, we set up Richard Peak on the engine display here. If I just show you now, if I just come back, if I just lean back a bit, so I'm just coming back on the mixture. You see that colour changing? So that's now that would now be more kind of lean of peak. So we're green. Green means economy. Let's check engine 1. Find the click spot. Oh, can't wait till parallel 42 launch flow. Sick and tired of that menu bar. There we go. So we're running a bit leaner now, which is all good. But again, everything's visualized. Our magnetos visualized. Our spark plugs visualized. Our squirty fuel visualized. All these things here. It's alive. The whole damn thing is alive. Love it. It's a great way of learning. It's a great way to learn to fly. The Comanche, in my mind, is a really good aircraft to learn to fly in because you've got similar kind of kit in there, and it shows you what the aircraft is doing. It makes it all make sense. It makes it all kind of come to life. So that's still good. Right, let's get rid of you there. Right, that's alright. I thought I just flicked my my lever, but it's fine. Okay, locked it off there. Quick check of the chats. More ducks. We got so many ducks. We've asked them to shut the heli once you are out. Michael, all you're missing, Rob, is some biscuits. Michael, I've always believed in life that you can tell by the smug grin, can't you? Always believed in life that preparation is incredibly important. Before you go into any kind of endeavour, you know, correct preparation, checking your kits, all that kind of stuff is very important. There you go. Standard issue, Fox's Crunchy Biscuits. Thank you. But don't worry, I'm not going to eat them on the stream because the last thing you want to do is hear me crunching biscuits. Alex, the info tablet is a great thing to replace the missing vibrations that were yeah, exactly. You're absolutely right. And that kind of goes back to what I was saying before about the fact that in the simulator we don't have the physical feedback that you would get in another aircraft. So you sometimes rely on other cues to understand things better, and certainly when you're learning to fly in the sim, having that display replaces a lot of that kind of stuff. So it's a very good point. Garibaldi, man, myself. It's that fly biscuits, isn't it? Squash fly biscuits. Yeah, they are nice. They are nice, but I must admit, not one I would. I'll tell you what, I have got back into recently. That I completely forgot about them until someone at work. Someone at work brought in a little box of Tunnocks tea cakes, and my initial feeling was, blimey, you know, is that it? Is that it? And then I had one, and I thought, hang on a minute. Now I get it, and I'm addicted to those bloody things now. I've got boxes of them. My wife keeps buying, but I think it's to shut me up. But yeah, I can't get enough of the blooming little lovely things in their little foil jackets. Yeah, now I'm thinking about Tunnocks tea cakes. Kaiser sausage, I like a short. I'm with you on that. I love a nice bit of shortbread. I especially like shortbread chocolate chip biscuits. They're very nice. Isn't it amazing? On this stream you get all sorts. You get wildlife with ducks. You get culinary discussions. It's a bit of everything. It's a bit of everything. I'm just looking over at my displays there. You really do have to be careful with Accu-Sim. It's not the kind of aircraft you can just sit on autopilot and then forget about it. So we're coming up now. I need to start thinking a bit more like a pilot instead of thinking like a tea-swilling, biscuit-eating, sitting in his spare room at home person. Co-pilot Kat's now joined me because she knows that we're about to start doing pilot stuff. So I want to listen to the ATIS just to get an idea at the moment. I want to see if it's changed. So the flight plan was giving us runway 30, so let's see where they are at the moment. Let me lock that off again. Right, the ATIS at Bromma is 122.455. So, oh, it's already, no, it's not. 122. 122. 455. Oh, hang on. Expect RSB runway 30, Golf Mike Sierra. Can you guys still hear the ATC, by the way? After turning it down a bit, can you still hear it okay? So you can actually hear what they're saying. Yeah, NATO standard must be issued with biscuits. No doubt about it. Biscuits or buttered toast, depending on the time of day. Okay, so RSB, runway 30, so ATC is confirming it's still the same runway as we had before, same arrival, but let's listen to the ATIS.
Departing runway 30, transition level 050. Advise on initial contact you have information Golf. Bromma Airport information Golf. 1602 Zulu. Wind 275 at 8. Visibility 10 miles or more. No clouds detected. Temperature 12. Dew point 05. QNH 1017. Landing and departing runway 30. Transition level 050. Advise on initial contact you have information Golf.
There we go. So that's good. So 30, I'm going to just try and one should never assume, but just to try and cut down the workload a little bit, I'm just going to put in what was it, 30, I'll just bang in ILS 30 as our approach so that we've got that in. Wrong button. There we go. So our first point, we need to be at or below 9,000 feet. We are at flight level 90. Sparky, Rob, I don't know if you read my earlier post. There is a lump on the front of 30 land just past the black landing marks for a flatter landing. Okay, cheers Sparky. Is there a bit of strange mesh work going on over there? That can sometimes happen. So, we've been told to expect ARSB. I don't think that necessarily means we've been cleared for ARSB yet. The phraseology in this is slightly different to the one I used before. Before you get a cleared for the ARSB arrival or something like that, whereas the phraseology in BeyondATC seems to be a little bit different.
Vertical track.
Looking down there. Isn't it lovely? Sweden, everybody. Can't speak any Swedish at all. So yeah, I didn't know what I was gonna say then. But it wasn't gonna be intelligible Swedish, that's for sure. Right, let's have a quick reminder. Yip 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 yip, doop a doop a doo, blah blah blah. Excellent, blooming marvellous. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Excellent. Okay. So we are now actually on the arrival. Michael, I flew from Dubai and the runway is slope left. Your plane leans a lot when landing. Oh wow, well, I'll have to try that. Sparky meatballs for everyone. Yes. Yes, and yeah, and incredibly expensive furniture that you have to build yourself. Don't even get me started on that. I had to build a load of that recently, and we coughed up an absolute fortune for all these bits of furniture that my beautiful, beautiful wife wanted, and I spent the best part of a Saturday assembling all this furniture, thinking, hang on a minute, I just coughed up a fortune for this. Now this is an interesting situation. Interesting situation. We are now ARSB runway 30 and we're ready for descent, Golf Mike Sierra. There you go.
Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra, descend to 5,000 feet, QNH 1017.
Descent to 5,000 feet, QNH 1017. There we go. I was just about to say.
Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra, contact Stockholm approach 123.755.
It all happens at the same time, doesn't it? I was just about to say, I wonder when we're going to start descending. Should I just be descending anyway, seeing as we're on the arrival? Okay, 1017. I need to get back to him because he's called me with an approach. Approach 125.755, Golf Mike Sierra. QNH 1017.
Negative, Stockholm approach on 123.755.
What did I say? Approach on 123.755, Golf Mike Sierra. Red Nose. Love that name. There we go. Right, that's in the box. That's changed. Let's boof that. Stockholm approach. Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra on the ARSB arrival, descending to 5,000 feet, passing 8,500 feet. Talk about waffling it. I should also have said that I've got information's golf.
Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra Stockholm approach, QNH 1017. Expect the ILS runway 30.
QNH 1017 and expecting ILS 30, and just to say we have information Golf Mike Sierra. Now, will that confuse him, or... No, he's just not impressed and he's not going to say anything. That's fine. I wouldn't be impressed either. I'd be saying, mate, you should have said that on the first call, not halfway down the line. That was my fault. I just pressed the wrong button. So I'm in ATT mode now. I'm just... There we go. Get the descent in. Looks so good. Let's get that in. Say that's fine. We're going down to 5,000 feet. We've got the correct altimeter setting. Just tweak it a little bit. There we go. Engines are absolutely fine. Speed is good. I'm just going to enrich in the mixture as we are coming down now, just a tad. Quick check of the chat. OMDB is the airport code. Okay, cheers, Michael. I'll definitely have a look at that. Worth a giggle. Let's have landing lights on, and at this point I'm going to put fuel pumps on as well. Quick check. Fuel boost on, yes. Mixture, yeah, we can go full rich now. Flaps not doing it at the moment. Blum 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 blum. Fuel selectors are both on, so that's good. And everything is fine over there. Is everything fine over there? Everything's fine over there. So we're good for that for the minute. It is a bit murky, Sparky. It is a bit murky. I guess this far north up in Sweden it's getting a bit darker a bit earlier. Okay. Just bottoming out our descent. So actually I'm going to yeah, let's hand fly it. Give myself something to do. Also shuts me up a bit, which is not a bad thing, eh? Got some trim going on here, I think. There we go, that's a bit better. Oh, that was too much. Too much of the trim. So I've got quite a good tailwind, it feels. And definitely getting darker here. This is your captain speaking. If you're feeling terrified or slightly anxious, don't worry. We're fully trained. We have a duck for a co-pilot with us this evening. Absolutely normal, CAA standard. Fully trained. got all his licenses. And as for the human, well, he's a bit below standards, but he knows which way is up or down, which is always an advantage. Now, should have really done that turn a little bit earlier, but it's all right. Apologies, by the way, if I'm not checking the chat.
All aircraft be advised, information hotel now current, QNH 1017.
Can you hear the ATC all right, by the way? Absolutely no point in me having ATC if you can't hear a word that they're saying. It would be rather pointless, wouldn't it? Right, so let's have a look what's going on here. Okay. There's an aeroplane up ahead. Don't normally see them flying during the day, so it's quite nice to see the traffic that BeyondATC is injecting is actually up there. You can see it with your very own eyes. Now, thank you guys. This is something that it did earlier on, and I don't think I've ever seen it before, so I'm not quite sure what it is, but the HSI is kind of locked with north at the top. And it did it before in a similar kind of phase of flight, so I'm not quite sure what that is. Wow, I just realised I've totally busted my altitude. Come on. Just having to crab a little bit because of the wind, but we don't need to crab quite as much as that. Get back down to your assigned altitude before they tell you off. Okay. Yeah, got the landing lights on, that's all good. It's a good point, a good time to say, I said at the beginning, I'm not an expert at doing this. The reason why I do flights like this is actually because I need the practice and because I learn by making mistakes. So if you've joined since I did that, this isn't one of those videos where you've got some YouTuber saying, I know everything and this is how it's done. It's not like that at all. Just getting the props in there. Just going to come back on the RPM a little bit. RPM. That's posh for RPM. Oh, they are the RPM.
Romeo Mike Sierra, descend to 2,500 feet, QNH 1017.
Descend to 2,500 feet, QNH 1017, Golf Mike Sierra. Right, another quick check. Now's a good time just to double check the checklist. Boost pumps are on. Mixture is fully rich. Fuel selectors are both on. Flappage we have not got at the moment because we're a bit too far out, but everything else is good. Happy with that. Still a little bit slow actually, I suppose. Are we a little bit slow? Yeah, it kind of feels for a little GA. We probably at this point would be going a little bit faster. Let's keep that descent in. People in the chat, I'll catch up with you once we're on the ground. But I can assure you that I need all 3 of my brain cells right now just to concentrate on what I'm doing and not to cock things up. Come on, let's get some more descent in, stop havering around. Sweden by night. Wow, look at that. Look what that is. Something that's obviously modelled in the as a feature in the sim, like a POI or something, like a stadium, I guess. It's quite distinctive. Yeah, can you just concentrate on flying, please?
Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra, 8 miles from Duxno, turn left heading 035, maintain 2,500 feet until established, cleared ILS runway 30.
Wow. Turn left heading 035, maintain 2,500 feet until established, cleared ILS, approach runway 30, Golf Mike Sierra. Now this is getting a bit tricky because my HSI is jammed on north. Okay. So I'm going to use the good old whiskey compass. I wonder why my HSI is jammed. Anybody in the chat who knows more about this than I do, is there any reason why my HSI could be jammed? It's jammed on north. Come on, a little bit more sunshine, a little bit more. Really need to bring that turn round. Left heading 035. I'm having a, don't mind saying it, a bit of a disorientation moment. Because he said turn left heading 035, but that would have taken me quite a way out. But okay. I was using a bit of confirmation bias there. I was looking out the window, looking and knowing that we need to go that way, so I was actually turning more of in the wrong direction. Okay, now I've just here we go. So first of all, we have an issue with our ILS not picking up, so let's have a look at that. Climbing, we don't want to do that. This is the kind of stuff you do not want happening. Okay. That's because the frequency wasn't set up properly. I'd loaded the approach, but
Vertical track.
I hadn't set up the frequency properly. And now, that's weird with the HSI. Yeah, I'll have to have a look at that. The
Delta Romeo Mike Sierra, contact Broma Tower 118.105.
Broma Tower on 118.105, Golf Mike Sierra. Right, let's get back in control. Okay, just want to yeah, we've flown right through it because I was messing around with the frequency. Look at that, all over the show. Now, this is why that chap said I wouldn't fly with him. Broma Tower, Golf Mike Sierra on the ILS approach runway 30.
Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra, Broma Tower, wind 255 F6, runway 30, cleared to land.
Copy the winds, cleared to land, runway 30, Golf Mike Sierra. Okay, we're dangling the Dunlops now, and we can just have a Tusha flap. Okay, let's watch our descent. Oh, I see the back seat flying instructors are out, commenting on the fact I think they feel I left it a little bit late to lower the gear. Don't worry, chaps. I might forget some things, but I won't forget to lower the gear. So we're below the glide slope. We're on the localizer. So I'm just going to maintain that 2,000 feet and just intercept the glide slope. Something I have noticed that I have a tendency to fly approaches a little bit too low. Instead of flying I guess a 3-degree glide slope, I have this strange tendency to come in too low. I guess that's just because my lack of experience flying proper kind of ILS approaches and that sort of thing like this, but so now we're a little bit too high. Okay, let's have a touch more flat. By the way, I will say this as well to the backseat flying instructors. It's always very different when you're doing it on a stream as well, because of course you're conscious of talking to people and that sort of thing. It's but there you go. I put myself up for it, for the ritual public humiliation. Okay. Trim. Trim is your friend. And it makes life so much easier, and I always have to remind myself of that. If you're nicely trimmed on approach, you're not fighting the aircraft so much. You can make tiny, minute Oh god, I thought the sim was going to crash then. You can make tiny, minute changes without gripping it and fighting it. Welcome to Sweden. Shut up. Who wants a pilot who's going to start singing ditties? Nobody.
500.
So we're drifting over to the right a little bit, so let's just correct that. See vous play. And again. Full flappage. Oh, catching the wind a little bit down here. Trying to remember what Sparky said, but just concentrating on getting us down at the moment. And we're down, and let's remember we've got to use the switches to steer. Blimey. That was an arrival. Flaps up, please. Exit next available Golf Mike Sierra. And they're saying, can we have chunks of our runway back, please? It is a bumpy runway, isn't it, Sparky? You're not wrong. Jesus Christ. I'd like to say that was the reason for my bumpy arrival, but it wasn't. Okay, remember, steer avec les switches. Oh, a bit early. Okay, there we go. There we go. Right, let's have the landing lights off and the strobes off. Vacated the active Golf Mike Sierra.
Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra, contact ground 121.605.
Ground on 121.605, Golf Mike Sierra.
Brahma Tower Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra, roger.
I hadn't contacted you yet, mate. Oh, that was Tower. So Tower started trying to talk to me when he told me to switch to another frequency. Okay, so let's see. Okay, ramp 65. Broma Ground, Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra, just vacated the active. Request taxi to ramp 65, please. Going to pop one landing light on just so we can see where we're going. No
Golf
taxi
Delta
lights.
Romeo Mike Sierra. Welcome to Brahma Airport. Ramp 65 taxi via Yankee 3. Yankee, Yankee 4. Hold short runway 30.
Wow. So, right. Ramp 65, taxi via Yankee 3, Yankee, Yankee 4, hold short, runway 30. Let's have a look at this. So we're going Yankee, what was it? Yankee 3, Yankee...
Delta Romeo Mike Sierra, cross runway 30 at Yankee 4. Continue taxi via Yankee 3, Yankee, Yankee 4. Hold short runway 30.
Cross runway 30, Yankee 4, continue taxi via Yankee 3, Yankee, Yankee 4. Okay, I'm going to have a look at the other chart because that doesn't... Well, let me have a look at the map here. You won't be able to see this, but I'm just trying to make head and toe. Okay, so it wants me to go...
Golf Delta
Okay.
Romeo Mike Sierra, cross runway 30 at Yankee 4A. Continue taxi via Yankee 3, Yankee, Yankee 4A. Hold short runway 30.
Cross runway 30 at Yankee 4. Continue taxi via Yankee 3, Yankee, Yankee 4. Hold short, runway 30, Golf Mike Sierra. Okay, let's go.
Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra, cross runway 30 at Yankee 4. Continue taxi via Yankee 3, Yankee, Yankee 4, Golf 1.
Okay, this... Okay, so now she's giving me other instructions. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to click the... I'm going to click the... AI reply, because whatever I say seems to trigger her to say something else.
Delta Romeo Mike Sierra.
Okay, and now my monitor has just decided it's going to try and go into automatic shut off. Don't want to save power, I want to be able to see where I'm going. There we go, there we go. Right, everything's back on track now. So Yankee 4 is up here. There we go. Who's that? Josh? Oh dear, I don't think Josh appreciated the landing, yeah. Tawny, do a wheelie again, Ron. Oh dear. There's Yankee 4. Oh cool, okay. Yeah, I think you can probably see now what I was saying. This is all kind of stuff that I do for learning. I'm not doing it because I'm showing you what to do. I think we learn by our mistakes, and that's what this is all about for me. Maybe some other people are experts at doing this sort of thing. Whoa, hold it there. Okay, so she's actually given us the clearance to cross runway 30 at Yankee 4. So we've actually had our clearance to cross. Originally she said hold short, but now she's giving us permission to cross. And Golf 1, which is over there. So we're going to zip onto the runway again. And then over here. Golf 1, yeah. That would be something that the armchair instructors would love. Oh, I think you're fine. That wasn't actually Golf 1. That was Golf 2. There we go. And I need to get the map back up, because I can't see... Okay, so you want us to go there, do you? So we're going to hang a left. Look at these... some very strange autogen trees going on over there by the looks of it. I think our parking space is over here somewhere. Cannot see. That's strange autogen, isn't it? Like lumps of snow. It's icebergs. Oh, hang on. Yeah, after you, mate. After you. Rude. Just looking on the... Where are we going? We're going to ramp 65. Okay, looking for some runway markings. This is a standard airport. Yeah, there's no taxiway markings at all. It just looks like, I think in the sim it's just a big pile of concrete, but according to the map, there is our ramp. So whether you like it or not, that's where we're going to be. Okay, so parking brake on. Oh, let's get the dome light on. Get away, nasty menu bar thingy. There we go, that's better. I mean, this is what I'm talking about with ambience. It looks really nice, really nice. Should have leaned the engines after there. I did put the flaps up, but I'm going to put the flaps into neutral. After landing, prop is fully forward, flaps are up, boost pumps can now come off. Could have done that after we touched down. Trim tabs, remember to put those to neutral, so that next time I fly it, I don't go flying into the sky. There we go. That's a good. That's a good. And we can have all the cabin heaters off now. So we'll push those back in. Have the fan off, blower off, fan heat off. Strobe I've already switched off. We can have the other landing light off now because we don't need to use it for taxi, and that's all good. And then shut down. Parking brake is set. Yosh. Idle. Engine cool down. So we're just cooling it down. I think we've kind of got to that point now with all my waffling where we've done that. So radios and lights. Radios and lights, yeah. So we're going to have all this off. So that's all good. And we can have that off, pitot heat off. And now mags mixture to idle cutoff. Mags off. Mags off, alternator off, and fuel selector off as well. Let's do that. And you can hear it move. Excellent. Okay, so we are down. I can now quickly catch up with the chat. Oh, I do love the positivity with you lot. Hope we don't smash our nice bird. The city lights look good. They did actually, yeah. That looked quite nice coming in. Sorry, Paul, I missed you. You were dropping off, but thanks for joining. Excuse me. Yeah, Josh went blimey, so that obviously concerned Josh a little bit. Tawny, strobe lights when we cross. Yes, very true, very true. Alex, I like the taxi charts from the in-game EFBI 2024 since launch, but only noticed those recently as I don't fly too often. Yeah, I've got Navigraph charts, and Navigraph charts is really good, but BeyondATC has ramps kind of programmed into it, so I needed to look at the BeyondATC map to see where it was taking me. And actually, incidentally, let's have a quick look. Oh, that's interesting. Is it, Rob? Yeah. Not really, but it is kind of. I'm going to show you. So, according to BeyondATC, we are on we're in parking spots here. But according to the chart, we're not. In fact, if it was daylight, it'd probably be a bit embarrassing where we are. So that's interesting. Obviously, there's a bit of a mismatch between the BeyondATC map and the actual maps in the charts on there. So that's just something for me to remember in future. Maybe not go by the BeyondATC map so much, because you end up going to some funny places. Right. Okay. So we talked about a competition. So it's very simple. Very simple. So what you need to do if you want to enter, there's three prizes. There's 3 Aerostars that A2A have been kind enough to give away. The way this is going to work is I'm going to give you a question. It's very easy to find out the answer. And then all you need to do is email the email address that's in the video description down below. You're just emailing the answer. You don't need to compose an email or anything like that. But if you can put the subject line as Aerostar, that's all you need to do, Aerostar in the subject line. And then all you need to do in the body is just put the answer to the question. You don't have to put hi, bye, anything like that. It's just very simple. Subject line, Aerostar, answer to the question in the in the body of the email. The cut-off time for entries is Sunday the 12th of October, that's tomorrow, at 2100 hours Zulu or UTC. So 2100 hours UTC Zulu. When the competition is closed, I'll put a little note in the video description as well, just to say it's closed. So if you're watching this on repeat and you haven't got a watch or you're not sure, just check below. If it says closed, it's closed. It's kind of done. So yeah, send your answer to that email address and then we're good to go. And then I will pick 3 at random, pass those on to A2A Simulations, and they are going to contact you and deliver your lovely brand spanking new shiny Aerostar to you. And I wish you all the best, and also yeah, enjoy. It's a cracking aeroplane. It's great fun, lovely to fly, and as you can see from what I'm doing, it's an aeroplane that you can really get your teeth into and learn to fly, and learn to fly it well. That was my second night landing in it, I always learn all these flights. I always learn something new, and you will too. Okay, so what is the question? All this waffling on about stuff. What is the question? So the question is this. If you go into, and this is the best way of doing it, I'm not going to show you because that would be giving it away. If you go onto the A2A website, and don't forget there's a 2024 and a 2020 version, but both will work fine for this purpose. Have a look on the A2A website in the store for the Aerostar, and I want you to answer this question. There's a part of the features where they talk about the sounds, and I want to know how many, or what does it say there in terms of how many dynamic sound effects are there. I think this is a really cool feature of the aircraft, and it also demonstrates just how much they put into it. But that's all I need you to do. Just answer the question. Answer how many dynamic sound effects are included in this simulation. Send it on an email to the email address that's in the video description. Subject line Aerostar. Answer the question in the body. I won't think you're rude because you haven't said hi or anything like that. Just bang that in there, whack it over, and the best of luck. I really mean that. It's a beautiful aeroplane to fly. Right. Well, I think I've done enough waffling, and it's been a pleasure having you on board. And well done for putting up with that landing as well. Been great in the chat. Really nice talking to you. Always love that sort of thing. Don't forget the Discord if you want to join there. Really nice community. GA Warbirds, helicopters. Some really nice people there, and always good bants, as they say. But yeah, I've kept you long enough. It's been wonderful having you along, and I look forward to seeing you on the channel again very soon. Take care now. Bye bye.